Hello students, this video is meant to serve as a quick refresh tutorial into how to set up your camera and what the different numbers on the back of your screen mean. If you are using an iPhone or some sort of smartphone to take your photos for this assignment, check the other video that I'm going to post along with this one. So when you turn on your camera, I want you to be shooting in manual mode, and this will just be a quick guide to some of these settings. So the top three settings on my camera, and it may be the same on yours, but they might be located slightly differently. But the top three on my camera are the three that deal with exposure. But the first one is shutter speed. So shutter speed is always going to be represented by either a fraction or a number with quote marks. If it's a number with quote marks, that means it's more than a full second. So if it's 0.3, like it says right here, then that means it's taking a photo for 3 whole seconds. If it's 1/30th, that means it's taking a photo for just 1/30th of a second. So the faster the shutter speed, the darker the image, because the camera is only opening the shutter for that fraction of a second. So if you want a really, really dark photo that captures very quickly, set your shutter speed really high. And that all kind of depends on your environment and what you're actually taking a picture of. If it's an image that's not moving, your shutter speed doesn't really matter in the sense that if you're not taking a picture of something in motion, you don't need to worry about capturing that motion. But if you're holding the camera and taking a picture and your shutter speed's really low, any movement, even a slight movement, is going to cause some blurriness in your photo. So I would recommend somewhere like 1/200th of a second, or if you're taking a picture of something in motion like a bird flying, maybe 1/1000th of a second, something like that. Play around with that setting a little bit and see what fits your needs best. Then the second setting that I have here starts with an F. It's the f-stop. That's the size of your aperture. So aperture is a mechanism within the camera that opens and closes kind of like the iris of your eye, depending on how much light that you want to let into the camera. So if it's really small, that's going to be a high aperture like f/22. If it's really wide open, that's going to be a larger aperture like f/2.8 or something like that. The camera that I'm filming this on right now is actually set at f/2.8, just to kind of give you a sense of what that aperture looks like. When you have a really wide open aperture, that actually affects the blurriness of the image, something called depth of field. So the depth of field is the amount of the image from the nearest object to the furthest object that's in focus. So f/2.8 is actually a pretty shallow depth of field. You can see that I'm in focus, but the wall and the things behind me are not in focus. That's because I'm working with a shallower depth of field. If I had a wider depth of field, like f/22, then both me and the wall would probably be in focus because that depth of field would be much larger. So if you are choosing to set your aperture, that's another thing to keep in mind. A wide open aperture will be much brighter, but it will also have a much smaller area of the image that's in focus at the same time, which could be great. I actually really like shooting everything that I can with a really shallow depth of field because I like that look of having like a blurry background but a sharp in-focus subject. But maybe you want a larger section of your image to be in focus, and so you want a smaller aperture, but that's just going to make your image a little bit darker, so you may have to adjust some of the other exposure settings. The third setting here is the ISO. When we talked about ISO is how sensitive your image sensor on your camera is to light. So the higher the ISO, the brighter the image is going to be. But the lower the ISO, the darker the image is going to be. So that kind of depends on your shooting environment. So if you're going outside to take pictures, you probably want a pretty low ISO because there's so much light available everywhere from the sun. So play with that setting a little bit, but you shouldn't need to go much higher than 800. I don't think even like 1600 or 3200 will be necessary, depending on what some of your other settings are. If your aperture is really high, like f/22, and your shutter speed is really high, you will need a higher ISO to compensate for that. And those three settings working together are what is called the exposure triangle. If you remember from our slides, I put up an image of the exposure triangle. Exposure is all about working these three settings to get perfect balance, where all of your settings are working together to properly reproduce the photo. So what you're looking for with perfect exposure is to have the image that you take look as it does to your eye. So not too bright, not too dark, but right in the middle. So it really is kind of a game of playing with all three of these settings in order to get the image to be in focus, but also properly exposed. And some of it just has to do with preference. You may want a really wide depth of field, and so you have a slower shutter speed or a higher ISO, or you may want a really shallow depth of field like I do, and then you have a really high shutter speed and a low ISO. Or maybe you just want a really bright image, and so you set your ISO to a specific point, and then you adjust the other settings. It really is kind of a game of adjusting settings. So that's exposure. I also want you to continue to pay attention to composition, paying attention to rule of thirds, like we talked about on the quiz and we've talked about in class. The rule of thirds is really important. You want to put specific areas of interest and attention on the intersections of those grid points, and just other objects to draw the eye on any of the lines. So keep practicing with that. I'll be paying attention to those things when I look at your images. And finally, white balance. Getting proper color is really important. So just pick the white balance setting that matches whatever your environment is. If you're outside shooting in the daylight and there's no shade, just pick daylight. If there is some shade, pick shade. If it's cloudy, what have you. Just pick the environment that matches for your white balance setting. I'm really excited to see the images you all take, what you all come up with. If you have any questions, maybe watch another part of this video, check with the slides, or feel free to email me. I'm happy to help guide you, answer any questions you may have.